And welcome to Rob Schmitt Tonight. Late this afternoon, Special Counsel John Durham, who has spent several years investigating the origins of the Russia collusion crossfire hurricane investigation into former President Trump, finally released his report. The headline: we conclude the Department of Justice and the FBI failed to uphold their mission of strict fidelity to the law in connection with certain events and activities described in this report. The real headline is the FBI is broken. The FBI is politically corrupted. John Durham's report is a disaster for the American government and its intel agencies. It is a disaster for our FBI. And it's just more proof the system is being rigged by the biggest institutions in this country. John Durham's report finds the FBI had no actual evidence, no reason whatsoever to open the investigation that paralyzed Donald Trump's entire presidency. Think about the weight of that. Durham says the FBI ignored protocols to launch this investigation, with Comey and McCabe putting Trump-hating agent Peter Strzok right at the helm, a twisted partisan who ignored exculpatory evidence. Had he not, the FBI would have learned that their own experienced Russia analysts had no information about Trump being involved with Russian leadership officials. It was all made up, and they knew it, and they let it happen because it benefited their political ideology. Peter Strzok, the agent who told his lover that they would stop Trump from becoming president, was the real cultivator of Russia collusion. And after the election, the reality of Trump's presidency, which of course was a nation no longer run by bureaucrats, caused a panic inside our intel agencies. And the mission became very clear: paralyze Donald Trump at any cost. Peter Strzok, texting his lover Lisa Page, "Think our sisters have begun leaking like mad, scorned and worried and political. They're kicking into overdrive." A whole bunch of people just like them all over establishment Washington doing exactly what they knew they had to do. They had to take down the populist president, protect the institutions that no longer represent the people. The media, of course, took this story and ran.
Donald Trump is an unwitting agent of Russia's Vladimir Putin.
There was collusion between the Trump campaign and Putin.
The possibility of collusion between the Russian government and the Trump campaign.
Whether there was collusion between President Trump's campaign and the Russians.
Whether Donald Trump himself is just a puppet for the Kremlin.
Isn't that amazing? All in unison for years. If you're still watching those networks, open your eyes. You're being lied to and manipulated every day. It's just propaganda. The report lays out an obvious political bias by the FBI in opening investigations. At one point in the summer of 2020, our intel agencies learned Hillary Clinton was planning to tie Donald Trump to Russia, to allege collusion as a distraction from her email scandal. They knew she was going to do this. They knew that this was her plan. CIA Director John Brennan knew about this. He informed Obama of the plan. Comey knew, McCabe knew, they all knew. Not only did they do nothing about this sinister plan from Hillary Clinton to make Donald Trump look like he was a Russian agent, they were complicit in it. They allowed a baseless investigation into Trump-Russia collusion to begin. Quote, at the direction of Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, Deputy Assistant Director for Counterintelligence Peter Strzok opened Crossfire Hurricane immediately. Strzok, at a minimum, had pronounced hostile feelings toward Trump. The matter was opened as a full investigation without ever having spoken to the persons who provided the information. Without ever having spoken to the persons who provided the information. He didn't want to talk to anybody because he knew it was all fake. He just wanted to blindly go into it and launch an investigation that was very damaging. Something this big, something this damaging, this democracy altering, since they always talk about democracy, and all of it was just a partisan hit job implemented by the ruling class of this country to disable a president that they knew they could not control. And the last pieces of functional government in Washington are the ones that have exposed this. And the question is now, what will come of it?